As many of you know, social media is a very complex place in our lives. And how we decide who we're going to connect with in social media goes a long way in determining the quality of our experience in social media. I'll talk about that next. For many of us, social media can be our safe space. It can be a place where we go and we engage with people that we feel comfortable with. Now, if you're on Facebook, you come at it from a more personalized perspective, a more social perspective. If you're on LinkedIn, there are people that you may want to connect with in LinkedIn that you might not necessarily want to connect with on Facebook. And in some cases, vice versa, though I would say probably connecting with somebody on Facebook to LinkedIn is probably a little bit different, maybe a little bit easier, a little bit more comfortable than going the opposite, connecting with someone in LinkedIn where you may want them in that business professional area of your life, but you might not necessarily want them in the social area of your life. And so those are decisions that we all make in a social media on really a daily basis, who we want in our lives and how we want those people in our lives. And some people are not necessarily built for certain areas of our lives, and that's okay. And those are decisions, again, that everybody has to make on an individual basis. But one thing you want to think about as you start to add people to your social media community, whether it's on Facebook, it's on LinkedIn, whether it's Snapchat, which can be a personal space for a lot of people. Instagram can also be a little bit more of a personal space for a lot of people. Maybe Twitter, a little bit more of a public space that I think people are a little bit more free about what they're saying and about who they're sharing it with. You don't see people maybe quite as often protecting their tweets and keeping their tweets private, whereas on Instagram, I think you see people do that a lot more, and on Facebook, people tend to be a little bit more protective of their privacy. Same with Snapchat as well. So you have to decide who you're going to let into your life and where you want people to be in. And in Facebook, you can have certain levels of access that people can have to your profile. And I would encourage people to think about how much access do you want certain people to have to your profile. Maybe everybody doesn't deserve, or maybe everybody just flat out shouldn't have access to all corners of your Facebook profile. And those are decisions you have to make, again, based on your comfort level with the people that you're connecting to. But the cool thing about social media is that you are in charge of your personal space, and you can determine to a large degree who you let in your personal space and what level of access that they have to your personal information, your personal photos, your personal thoughts. And so remember to make sure that you take control of your privacy settings and use them to their fullest potential. Now, for some people, they feel like, hey, I'm not posting anything that's overly personal on my social media accounts, so I'm not necessarily trying to hide a whole lot from a lot of people. And if that's the case for you, then that's perfectly fine. But other people feel differently. Other people have things that to them are very private and they only want to share with a close group of people. I know a lot of people that really feel like, hey, their social media is for their immediate family and their very close friends. And when people who are maybe acquaintances that you just ran into once or twice, they try to add you as a friend on Facebook, and a lot of times people say, well, no, I just don't necessarily want to go there with that person. I don't know them like that. They don't know me like that. And it's probably not good necessarily that we connect on that level, at least not yet. Now, if we develop a stronger relationship and it makes sense at some point, then that's different, then we can reconsider. So you have to think carefully about who you want to add to your social media presence, whether it's Facebook, it's Instagram, or it's Snapchat, or what other social media platforms, LinkedIn. Think about who you want in your personal spaces and then determine what level of access that you want them to have. You don't need to feel the pressure to connect with everybody who wants to add you as a friend or as a contact. You have control over your social media presence. Exercise that control and create the best, safest social media experience for you that is possible.